Greetings, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Barbara Dean Franklin Show, Real Talk, Real People. I am your host, Barbara Dean Franklin, and today I have the pleasure of sitting with Mr. Anthony Weston, President, Founder of Mentoring Youth Network. How are you today?
Great. It's good to be here.
It is great to have you here. I always like to share with people how we met, and last year we did an event for the homeless, Warming Up Detroit, where we went and packed food for the homeless and passed it out with Marty Peoples, who has been a previous guest on my show. And so again, I want to welcome you. I want to thank you, Tony, for everything that you're doing. And we're going to talk about something that I think is a very important subject. On September the 27th, you're going to be hosting a I'm Possible Suicide Awareness Conference. And I definitely want to talk about that and talk about how you got started, why you are doing what you're doing. So let's talk a little bit about, first tell us a little bit about what you do and what Mentoring Youth Network is.
Well, Mentoring Youth Network is a mentoring organization that started in 2009. Mm-hmm. We started working with young boys in Detroit Public Schools. Okay. And we've been doing it since then, and we've been traveling to different schools, running after school programs over the last 5 years. Okay. So this year we changed our program up a little bit, where we are concentrating on 3 pillars, which is mentoring, community service, and social awareness. Mm-hmm. And with the social awareness piece, I'm Possible Suicide Awareness was the brainchild of that particular thing. Okay. And I like the play on words, I'm possible instead of impossible, because suicide is just, it's like really prevalent now. Mm-hmm. You know, you hear about it, especially younger children, you know, taking their lives, you know, and then there are so many factors, you know, so I'm glad that you're out in the schools doing, because bullying and people teasing the children, and, you know, you never know what situation a child is dealing with at home already, you know, and then they come to school and they go through the different things. So tell us a little bit about what I'm Possible Suicide Awareness Conference, what does that look like? What's going to happen on that day, September the 27th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.? Well, let me tell you a little bit about why we started that Possible Suicide Awareness Conference. Mm-hmm. It's because a few years ago, I don't know if anybody is aware of that young child, 6 years old, mm-hmm. was found hanging in the closet. Okay. And right after that, a boss of mine mm-hmm. Took his own life. Mm-hmm. And one thing that came out of those situations to me was, we have to do something. We have to at least start talking about it, mm-hmm. see if we can come up with a support system so that we can kind of help somebody. Right. Will we eliminate the problem? No, we won't. Right. You know, but we can bring awareness to it. Mm-hmm. And what we do in these workshops is, we have this particular conference, we have workshops that mm-hmm. we deal with bullying, conflict resolution, okay. and we have Team Mental Health from Wayne County mm-hmm. come out, and they do a few workshops for parents how to deal with the loss of a child and stuff. This year, I'm so excited about this year is because we have Frank Turner, who's gone through some issues himself. Yeah. And that's why I reached out to him, and mm-hmm. I'm excited I haven't spoken with him personally. Mm-hmm. I spoke to his wife a couple of times, and I don't want to know anything until that day. I know, that's right. You know, it's really amazing, you know, the way that God operates, you know, and I have an organization, Women in Power, Crossing Paths, and just that crossing paths just means so much to me, because week before last, on the 20th of August, Mr. Turner was mm-hmm. here doing a show with on Apostle John Saber's show, and so I followed Mr. Turner over the years. Mm-hmm. So I followed his story. I know his story, and you know, God is awesome, and He's able to do all things but fail. Yeah. So I think that you have the right person. Talk about suicide prevention. I remember on December the 23rd, 1994, I was addicted to crack. Mm-hmm. And on that day, I decided to take my life. Mm-hmm. You know, but on that day, I reached out to my pastor, and I got a voicemail saying, I'm out of town, you know, leave a message. And I'm thinking, like, you know, what am I going to do? Right. Called a cousin of mine, Juanita Gavin, who has gone on to be with the Lord, but she came over, prayed with me, and I just thank God that I did not take my mm-hmm. life that day, because the things that I have gone through since December the 23rd, 1994 have just been mind-blowing. They have not all been good things, you know, but through it all, I know that I'm able to just keep putting my foot before the other and make some things happen. So I also lost a good friend last year, Van Cephas. You know, Van Cephas was an accomplished musician, Anita Baker's keyboard player. He played with Chapter 8, who took his life. You know, so when you talk about these conferences where people are feeling hopeless, you know, how do you address that during, you know, your conference?
Well, the first time we did it, we was flying by the seat of our pants, and we didn't know what we were going to be approaching. We didn't know how we was going to attack this particular issue, and we just, it wasn't a dry eye in the room. And we just let people start, you know, go to the microphone and start venting about some of the things that they were going through in their life. And, you know, we had we had, it was at a church, we had ministers there and everything, and our goal was to get people praying, get people talking about it, get people, you know, let's all cry together. It wasn't men and women the same, with tears everywhere. So, you know, we want this to be the same way this year, and we've added a couple of different pieces this year because we know kids are really dealing with certain things. We have bullying, cyberbullying, the negative effects of social media, conflict resolution again. We have domestic violence this year we're adding. Because we think it's important that teenagers understand that, and parents understand that these teenage girls are going through domestic violence as well. And with Frank Turner and all of these other workshops going on, this will be a dynamic event.
I think that it will. So again, it is going to be September the 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it's at Redford Church of Christ, which is located at 16776 Lasser Road in Detroit, Michigan. That's 48219. And you're also going to be having your bowling fundraiser. Is that a part of?
That's attached to the Suicide Awareness Conference. We doing this so that we can afford to pay for this particular event. And it's to help our organization because we are a non-funded organization, but we feel it's important that we continue to get our message out.
Most definitely, because what you know, although you're a nonprofit organization, you want to speak life into the lives of people, and so if you don't have the money to do what you do, then you can't bless the the masses. So you have a bowling fundraiser that you're going to do September the 19th, and this is going to be at Vision Lanes.
Vision Lanes in Westland.
Okay, at 382-504 Road. Now, if people wanted to get involved with Mentoring Youth Network, or they wanted to call and get information about either of your events, how do they do that?
They can call our office number at 313-550-3831. Or if they want to talk to me before they get to the voicemail on that number, they can call me at 313-408-9506.
Okay. And so, have you, like me personally, I've been personally affected by suicide. I had two first cousins who committed suicide at a very young age. And, I've shared my story that I've had some issues. So are you personally, when you started to do this, and I know you said you had, the 6-year-old young man, and then you had one of your bosses to do that, but have you been personally affected by this at all?
I'm going to say yes. The day that my boss committed suicide, it was funny because, and it resonates in my mind every day. I looked at him. He was at work that day. I looked at him and he had tears in his eyes. And I've never seen him look this way before. And suicide was the last thing in my mind. I never knew that that was a look that I'm done.
Desperation, exactly.
So I asked him, I said, you need some help? He said, no. I said, you want to go somewhere and talk? And he said, no. He said, I'm done. Who knew what he was talking about, So the next call I got from that day, and he and I were actually personal friends. And I had just been at his house, he was fixing one of my cars. I'd been at his house a few weeks before he did it. And the next call I got that particular day is that he had took a bottle of pills and drank a bunch of liquor and all of this stuff, and his heart stopped. And, that's one of the main reasons why I do this. And since then, I had another friend. He gave me a piston jacket 2 years later. And I said, thank you. Next thing I know, he committed suicide by gun.
Wow. Yeah, so. It's amazing because with Van Cephas, he posted on his page that night that, you know, if anything should happen to him, you should reach out. You know, his sister would be taking over his page, you know, and I reached out to him, you know, continuously, like, that's not funny, you know, what are you doing? Never had any idea that he would take his life, you know. And the reason that I was really glad when you reached out to me, you know, about doing this is because, you know, with Robin Williams committing suicide, now it's bringing a lot of attention to it. But this is something that is happening every day, and we have to reach people, you know, to give them hope, you know, to just let them know, no matter what you're going through, you know, things may look bleak today, but you never know what tomorrow holds if you are not here for tomorrow. So we can't give up, you know, so easily. We have to fight the good fight.
We have to fight the good fight, and we want to ultimately build a support system that's big enough to kind of help people to call. I mean, maybe we can call it something like when you have a sponsor or something like that. Maybe we can do something like that, but it's important that we start addressing the issues that are plaguing our young people, adults, stars even. People think stars have all the money, so they're so happy. But Robin Williams, for instance, he was hurting every single day.
And you know what, Tony, I as I listen, because I've been asking the Lord to show me, you know, what is it? What can we do? And what I continue to get over and over again is that we really have to love one another. We really have to support one another. We really have to kind of, you know, forget about some of the things that, you know, are important to us over and over again, you know, my car, my house, my this, my that, and reach out and support people who are hurting, to let people know that we love them, that we care about them, that we're concerned for them, that, you know, and people have to share, you know. And when people share, then I don't take what you've said to me and run it down like you aren't this or you aren't that. I have to learn how to love you exactly where you are. And that is how we start to change things. You know,
that's with anything. I mean, love is beautiful. I'm going to tell you, my wife and I have been married 20 years now, but 19 years. And God blessed us with our first child.
Really?
Yeah. And that's actually making me move faster, trying to, you know, get more, you know, messages out there. But what I'm learning is that love is that is an amazing thing.
Yes,
I've been with my wife I've been with her 25 years. And I've been doing this, I've been working with kids for over 20 years. And I love what I do. But when my daughter came, I actually see that, you know, we have the ability to give more love than we actually know. And we need to know we can go outside of the family. It's okay to go outside of the family and say, look, man, I love you. I've been
and that's it. You know, I mean, every day I'm telling people how much I love them. People talk about Facebook, but Facebook is a ministry to me, and that's the way that I use it. I have a nonprofit, and I passed out ink pens, and you just never know when people are going to reach out to you. The other day, a young lady called me. I just came back from vacation. I've been in Cape Cod for 7 days. I was on Martha Vineyard. God is so good. He is just really so good to me. It was just a blessing. And that day that I came home, I was talking to a young lady. She had she found my ink pen. She saw it somewhere. The lady wouldn't give it to her, but she gave her my number, and she had left a message while I was on vacation. I was like, let me call this young lady now. And I'm telling you, I know I talked to her for about an hour, or maybe even more than an hour. Here's a young lady who does not know me. I don't know her, but I took the time to listen to the things that she had to say. And at the end of the call, because there was some similarities, she had been addicted to crack. You know, she was in a relationship. You know, I could identify with her, and I could listen to her, but I was someone who did not know her, so I'm not judgmental. I'm not saying, you know, how many times have you gone through this, or what are you doing? And so that's what I think, you know, when you said that you were able to, the first time you let people vent, you let people talk, because people need someone to talk to. I also have a young lady that's over the Mental Illness and Depression Center in Ann Arbor. So I'm looking for a clinician to actually come out and sit down with me and talk about, you know, some of the preventative, how we can be proactive. You know, what are the things that we can do to be proactive to help people to you know, not feel so hopeless? What are some of the things that, you know, we can give them to do, exercises that they can do, places to go, like you say, an NA meeting, or, you know, meetings and group sessions and things?
And that's why we have Team Mental Health coming out.
Okay.
So that they can, they will hold a particular workshop to show these things. And funny thing is, when they did our event the first time, their stories came out.
Okay.
And the event, after the event, I was reading the comment cards, and one of the people said that event allowed her to express what she's been going through. And in the business that she's in, she's not able to do that because she always have to take in what everybody else is feeling. So that's why we have that group coming out. This event this time is going to be amazing.
Wow.
It's going to be amazing. I'm excited about it. Yes, it's a dark issue that we're talking about,
but it needs to be talked about.
Hopefully we will be able to reach a lot of people.
Right. And so this is your second, is this the second event?
This is the second one.
Okay.
This is the second one. This is the second one, and since we pillared our organization off, this is the first event falling under our social awareness pillar, and we want to put more stuff up under that. And,
okay.
You know.
So you're starting with the suicide awareness, and you plan to bring other topics that are affecting the social, economic of people that are in your reach, your span of control. Okay, so domestic violence, you know, we've talked on that, conflict resolution, and the social media. The last show when Frank Turner was here, I had a show on stalking, you know, and so cyber stalking is I mean, you go on to Facebook now, people always say, hey, you know, call me on this number, and then, or send me an email here, and then you don't send, they continue to, you know, what gives you the idea that I even want to talk to you? If I didn't answer you the first time, then, you know, why should I deal with you now? Do you find that young folk are dealing with this way more than the older people? Plus this, I can't even think of the name of the site that's always doing the fights and showing the fights. And
I'm going to tell you right now, the only reason why I'm on social media is because some of the kids we work with is on social media. I don't like it. I mean, it's a good tool and everything.
If you use it properly.
If you use it properly. But to me, I don't like it. I think that's one of the biggest issues that we have with gangs and violence in schools and stuff like that, and workplace violence. I just think social media is to me, I think it is a horrible thing.
Right. And we all have our opinion, but okay, so social media is put out there because I have a friend, and Lord knows I love her. Her name is Keisha. Keisha Smith, she had cancer. She was on my show as well. So she's Keisha, the chemo coach, and she's on a journey, you know, with her cancer. She just had a double mastectomy. And so she's been journeying, you know, every day, you know, sharing with the people what she's going through. She was in pain. She was back, you know, she had, you know, both her breasts removed. She put that picture out there. Donna, you know, Kaufman, they use this for a good cause, you know. So how do you get to the people who are using it incorrectly, the young people? What are the parents telling their children? What are they being taught? What are they, you know, that this is okay, you know, to show, you know, you fighting, you know, a young lady, you know, this young lady, whoever you're fighting, you're beating, or you're hurting, you don't know what they're going through. Do you not care?
Absolutely.
You know, what happened to us as a people, society, that, you know, we used to look at Lever the Beaver and Fred Sanford and, you know, I mean, we didn't have really social media, but the things that we cared about one another. We had little fights. They bullied me when I was coming up. They called me Tanky Wanky. You know, they laughed at me and did different things, but it wasn't so vicious. What's happened to us today?
And nobody's talking. Nobody's talking. I call this generation a closed door generation. Everybody's blinds are closed. We have a no snitch policy. We have that stuff. All the old people just sit in the house. And that to me is what's causing all of this stuff. And this particular workshop is ideal. Yeah, we're going to talk about suicide, but we're going to talk about some of the other stuff. And it's slated for parents and kids. We would love to have a big seminar where at Cobo Hall or something,
Right.
to have a bunch of workshops for parents, kids to come together, so that parents can see what these kids go through. Because when you drop your books off at home nowadays, parents don't say, "How was the day?"
Exactly.
or "What happened at school?"
Or let's sit down and do your homework together.
Let's sit down and do the homework. Next thing you hear is, like last week or a couple of weeks ago, 14-year-old girl get beat up down the street. Her mother then goes down the street, stabs the mother and the little boy.
Right.
Those types of things need to stop happening. And the thing that's happening is nobody's talking.
Right.
And we need to get everybody back to the dinner table at 6.
Yeah.
We need to get everybody around the table talking. We need the kids to be mad at mama because mama imposed some rules.
Exactly.
We need dad to come home and say, you know what? This is how it's going to be.
Right.
We're going to raise this family up the right way, and we're going to make sure that our kids make it to college. We're going to make sure they're successful.
Exactly. And when you were saying that, when you were talking about that, about them coming in, dropping off the books, I thought, first thing that I thought, that there's nobody in the house that's cooking a hot meal. They're not sitting around the table anymore.
Right.
Because when we came up, you know, not only did our parents parent us, but the neighbors did too.
Right.
You know, I knew for a fact that if I did something wrong, Corrine Hutchins was on one corner, Miss Porter was on the other corner. You know, the winos on the corner would say, "Hey, aren't you Doris's daughter? You need to get your butt home." You know, and I went home. You know, somebody down the street could whoop me. You know, because I remember one day Miss Cora, I was standing outside and I was cussing up a storm, and Miss Cora went and told my mother not only did she pop me upside the head, but then she took me home, and then I got in trouble again. You know, that's the day that we grew up in, and I just moved from my neighborhood after 30 years. But we were a family there. Now people are afraid to talk, to share. You know, you say the older folks are sitting in the house, because they're afraid to go out, because the young people have no respect for them anymore.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I'm Possible is something that, you know, really everybody needs to attend so we can hear what the young folks are saying. Even in the midst of their anger, we need to hear their words.
We need to hear their words. We need to listen to them.
We need to listen to what they're saying, and then try and come up with solutions to help them, because these are the people that we're leaving this world to. These are our next generation, our future whatevers.
And we can't be scared to ask questions of these young people.
Right.
Like on my social media site, I have a couple of young people that's on my site. When they use foul language or something, I might send them a message like, what's this about?
Right, exactly.
You know, what's this about? Don't be scared to ask these kids questions. I mean, we can curb a lot of issues if we just open our mouths and start talking. We can.
So tell us again, give us the information again about the I'm Possible.
All right, the I'm Possible Suicide Awareness Conference. That's be held September 27th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
Lunch will be served. We got the schedule together. It's at Redford Church of Christ, 16776 Lasser, Detroit, Michigan, 48219.
Okay. Is there a charge to get in here?
No.
No charge. So this is free.
This is
free information that Mentoring Youth Network is providing. So the church should be overflowing with people. There should be standing room only. You should have to bring out extra pew chairs for people to come out here, because this is a good event.
This is a good event. I mean, we want of course we want to make it bigger.
Right.
I mean, the church holds the gym holds 150 people, but the church is actually a wonderful place. You know, they open their doors to us. You know, it's just a wonderful. When you talk about stuff like this, you like you said, God works in mysterious ways, and He makes stuff happen.
Most definitely, most definitely. And then the bowling fundraiser, let's talk about that too, because everybody needs to exercise, need to bowl. I told you I was on Martha's Vineyard. Hey, I walked 10,600 and some odd steps. That's over 6 miles. So, we need to exercise. I was excited about that. I was like, I need to go home and make sure I continue to walk.
I threw my pedometer in the garbage.
Okay. What's on my phone? This all, everything is all.
I'm ready to throw my phone in the garbage.
You need to walk, Tony. Tell us about the bowling fundraiser.
Okay, the bowling fundraiser is September 19th at Vision Lanes in Westland. That's 38250 Ford Road. The price of it is 20 minutes. 20 minutes. It includes 3 games, shoes, and pizza. And to get tickets, you can call me again at 313-550-3831.
Okay. And then for your personal number, if somebody wants to reach out to you, somebody may just want to talk to you one-on-one. They may not want to get to the office. What's your number that they can reach you at?
313-408-9506.
Okay. And Tony, because you've been doing this since 2009 and you go into the Detroit public school systems, I'm sure that there have been young men, young girls that you've worked with that you know that are hurting, and you know you've tried to address some things. I want you to look into the camera, and I just want you to kind of talk to somebody that may be out there going through some things. Maybe it's not to the point of suicide, but they're so hurt and hopeless that they don't know what to do. Just speak from your heart and give them a little encouragement.
One thing I will say to those that are hurting is talk about it. Just call somebody, talk. You can have a support system anywhere. Call me. My number is out there. I have no problem with picking up the phone, but just know that because you're hurting doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Somebody else is hurting just as bad as you, and you guys can work through it. You can get a hold of somebody. Mentoring Youth Network is there for support to as many people as we can support, and if we can help you, we will find you a system that can.
And I think that's good to know, that people need to know that whatever you're going through, you're not alone. There's nothing new under the sun. Somebody else has already gone through what you're going through, and there's somebody out there that will assist you, that cares enough about you, that really wants to help you. Mentoring Youth Network is one of those places that you can go. Women Empowered Crossing Paths is another place that you can always come to. There was one thing that you said to me that I wanted to go back on, that you just had a baby. How old is your daughter?
18 months. And she is tearing me to pieces.
Really?
I never loved something like this before in my life.
That is wonderful. That is so wonderful. Well, congratulations to you and your wife.
Thank you.
Much success to you for your event, September the 27th. I don't think I have anything on my books. I love Frank Turner. I love to see him speak. He told me before, when I was following him, he was a preacher, you know, but now he's a teacher. So I definitely want to see him speak to the young folk, and if they listen to his story, if they hear what he has to say, they should leave there with some takeaways and some encouragement like never before. So again, I want to thank you for coming on the show, taking out the time out of your busy schedule to be here with me. And I'm going to end the show like I always do, thanking each and every one of you for tuning in and telling you from my beating heart to your beating heart, I love you. You understand? Okay. Definitely come. I think I need to gather up some folks and bring them too, because I got some people that are hurting.
We gonna make it. I wanted to end that too, but last time it didn't even end that too.
Okay, let me get a picture with you in front of my here, Trenton. My godson Trent, this is Tony. He helped pack some of the bags before we got to the
and he left
to the place. Yeah, no, he didn't go. He didn't. Well, we were at home because we had brought some hand warmers and different things like that. That's your producer, Isaac Lauren. Okay, get over here.
And how about a little shot there? Yeah, you're gonna load it up, right? I mean, upload it, not load it up. There we go. Taking full frame. Fill the frame, but not over. Yeah, that's that'll work. Right, that'll work better.
Okay. I can't keep holding my stomach here. Hurry up.
Does that thing freeze when you shoot it? Right.
Okay.
Well, it didn't look like it froze.
It don't look like rain.
It don't look like it froze.
It don't look like it was even shooting.
I hate this. I just got this one. I hated my iPhone, and now.
All you do is set print. Set it so that you can, number one, hear the thing, and then there's
Right,
another
'cause
setting that makes it stop when you take the picture and hold it for
That
about
one.
5
Right, I
seconds.
seen
was
that.
not-
Right,
that's
because
not a
it's
good
supposed to
picture.
show you the
All of
picture.
these are bold. These are very. I don't know what the.
It's supposed to show you the shot
No,
before.
but this is not a good picture. It's
Okay,
like, were
but-
you nervous?
Isaac, it's supposed to
Okay,
show you
let
the
me have
picture
it.
before you
Hold on.
actually do it.
Let me have it for a second.
Okay, let me put it on the camera and let's see what mode it's in, because this is let's do a beauty face.
A beauty face?
I don't know what that is, but the mode that it was in wasn't good. So here,
Beauty
come on.
face.
Let's try that again.
Okay. Well, first, oops. First thing with my new legs, can't do a thing with them. Something's wrong here. It says processing, and I don't understand what that means. Mode, let's go to mode. Let's go to auto, okay. And let's go to, that should be it, but let's do it like that. Okay, now, see what happens when you do that, because I never could get it to freeze like mine does.
We saving.
That's a good shot.
Yeah.
Save the light.
Send it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and save the lights.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you are so welcome.
Thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you. I'll see you on the
Okay.
27th.
All right. See you
All right,
later.
and anything you
all right.
need me to do for you. let me
Okay.
know.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right, bro.
Okay. All right. See you later. Thank you.
Oh, the camera's off. I'm taking in my purse. You're gonna leave the thing.